I broke up with my fiancé after my best friend accused me of having crush on her husband for years. I've been put in a really tough situation with my fiancé Jack, 30M, by my closest friend Sarah, 26F, and her husband Matt, 28M. Matt and I had known each other since childhood, he was my neighbor, and we were friendly. Sarah and I were college roommates, and we became close friends. After I introduced Sarah and Matt, they hit it off and began dating. I was so excited to see two of my friends get together, but I was also annoyed that I became the third wheel and was usually ignored or pushed aside because they were so into each other. By the time I graduated from college, Matt had dropped me as his friend. That saddened me, but Sarah and I remained good friends, so I was okay with that. Sarah and I would spend a lot of time together, but I never talked to Matt except for polite hellos. Sarah would occasionally try to arrange couples dates with herself and Matt, as well as with me and my dates. Matt developed an uncomfortable personality and was regularly rude and disrespectful towards me. But since he is Sarah's loving and devoted husband, I ignored him out of consideration for her. When my fiancé and I became engaged, we had no plans to throw a party. Sarah was upset that we did not throw an engagement party, so she hosted a small gathering at her house to celebrate us. The party was enjoyable, and as the evening came to a close, my fiancé and I went to thank Sarah and Matt for their kind gesture before leaving. At that point, Matt was pretty drunk. Suddenly, he gave me a hug and, in front of my fiancé, expressed his relief that I was finally settling down and that I would be moving past my crush on him. I was shocked and told him it wasn't true. He simply laughed and told Jack that he had to put in a lot of effort to keep me at bay because I was always after him. When I pulled Sarah inside and asked her to fix this mess, she said, "You know I always trust you, I know you wouldn't act on your crush," and then she said, "Oh, he's drunk, ignore him." At this point, Jack was pretty mad and left. I ran after him. He told me he didn't want to be anyone's backup plan or second choice when I tried to explain that this wasn't true. Since that night, he has not spoken to me or returned my calls. I've tried to talk to Sarah several times to clear things up with Jack, but she keeps ignoring me. I don't know why they think this, or why she would remain friends with me if she thought I was interested in her husband. I was in her wedding party and did all of the work because her sister, who was the maid of honor, was too busy. I helped her during her pregnancy and babysat her child multiple times. She never indicated that she believed this, and why would she want me close to her family if she did? I feel humiliated that these people believe I am pining for a moron like Matt. I need your help convincing Jack that this is not true. I'm also angry at him for throwing our relationship over something some drunken idiot said. I am not sure what I am going to do about my friendship with Sarah. Update. I spoke with Sarah again, and I asked her why she thought I had a crush on Matt. She claimed that I had talked up Matt and gushed about him when I had first introduced them, and she had assumed that I was attracted to him. I said I like him because I've known him my whole life, but that doesn't mean I want to be with him. She stated that when they started dating, I was frequently upset about it. I explained that while I wasn't upset about them dating, I was upset that she would make plans with me only to leave to be with him, and that I didn't like being the third wheel when we were all together. That had nothing to do with wanting him, but rather with not wanting to be left out by my best friend. I questioned her why she hadn't mentioned anything before, and she said that she could have handled the issue. She had told Matt to stop talking to me completely, and she had created a situation in which we had little chances of us trying to associate with each other. I asked her, now that I'd cleared up that I never had a crush on Matt, to please talk to Jack and tell him. She claimed she did not want to lie. I was quite frustrated by this. She can ignore this imagined crush for years and manipulate me, but she will not talk to my fiancé to fix my relationship. I told her I was completely done. Being her friend looking back, I had been doing stuff for her, and she used me but did little for me. Update. Jack and I broke up. I sent Jack a long message explaining the entire history of my relationship with Sarah and Matt, along with the most recent screen caps. I asserted as best I could that I had never developed feelings for any guy, that I loved him, and that he was my only choice. Jack agreed to talk to me after we had not spoken for days. When we first met, he said that there are two ways he could interpret this. 1. Matt and Sarah are correct, and he does not want to be my second choice. 2. I have very bad judgment to think that I would have a best friend like this, and he doesn't want that in a life partner. These are malicious people who are playing me. Either possibility leads to the same conclusion: he wants to cancel the engagement. He reminded me that I had described Sarah as one of the most important people in my life. I'd always jump up to help her. Once when her baby was sick, I had to cancel our plans to look after him. It annoyed him, but he saw it as me being caring and nice, but now he sees it differently. I cried and begged him not to break off our engagement, but he wanted to take a break. I thought about what he said for a few days and realized he was 100% right. I was a clingy friend, a doormat. I never realized how one-sided my friendship with Sarah was. I was a doormat for Jack too. I didn't want to marry or have children so soon, but I agreed to his timeline. I passed up an exciting job opportunity with more money because he did not want me to travel for work. I love him, but I need to improve myself and become stronger. I returned his ring and ended things. I returned all of the gifts he gave me. He was offended, but I didn't feel right about keeping the expensive gifts he had given me. He makes much more than I do and was very generous with what he gave me, but I can't keep it now. Sarah was quiet for a while before calling me. I ignored many of her calls, but I answered one this morning and told her about the breakup. I was hoping for sympathy from my old friend. She was more interested in knowing if I would still watch her child while she and Matt went on an overnight trip. When I said no, she became quite angry. I've blocked her now. I lost my fiancé, my best friend, and my relationship with my nephew, whom I adored, all at once. But still, I'm grateful for the comments that showed this wasn't something I could fix and helped me rip off the bandage and walk away from this mess.